D. Okay, we are live. We are live. Can anybody hear us? Can you hear us? Please let us know in the comments if you can hear us. Good evening, everyone. Can anybody hear us? Please confirm if you can. I can see. We can hear you. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much. So, good evening, everyone. You're welcome to Bright Mom Chronicles. Thank you so much for joining tonight. And for those who would be catching a replay, thank you so much for catching a replay on this. This is Bright Mom Chronicles, and we are a faith-based platform where we explore different topics relating to motherhood, from faith, healing, career, raising children. This is a space where moms who have been in a mom space for a while come share their experience regarding to various topics about motherhood. Yeah. So it could be anything ranging from their career, how they've been able to navigate the waiting season, how, they are living life, making money, making impacts, fulfilling purpose, how they are caring for their children, and their wins. We've had people come share different aspects of their motherhood experience, from their wins to their struggles to things that they found challenging in their journey. And this platform basically is to support new moms, waiting moms, pregnant moms, ladies who are about getting married, just to come learn from other people's experience. When you have learned or heard from someone's experience, you are able to go far. You are able to avoid mistakes the person made. And yeah, basically that's what we discuss on here. So before we go ahead, we're just going to say a word of prayer, and we're just going to commit tonight's session to God's hands. So, Heavenly Father, thank you for tonight's meeting, and we are grateful for how far you have brought us. We pray that as we begin tonight's conversation on love languages, that you take the stage and you take control, and that everyone who will be listening will be transformed from this conversation, and that you would minister your word yourself. You will minister your light to every woman and every man who would be listening tonight. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for in Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Amen.
Amen.
All right, so we are just going to be getting right into it. We can hear you. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so tonight's conversation is the topic, as we all have seen, is my love language has changed. And we'll be talking, it's a topic that every woman experiences, and but I've discovered that many of us struggle to put this conversation into words, how our love languages have changed after we became moms. And a lot of us knew how we like to receive love before kids. Then motherhood happened, then exhaustion came into play, then the mental load, happened, and suddenly flowers have become, you are not interested in getting flowers anymore. You feel it's a waste of money, like me. Like me, you feel it's a waste of money, and like, why are you getting me flowers of all things, please? Right. So today we are going to be diving into what love language really is, and how you can recognize yours in this season, in your season, whatever season it is that you are at the moment, how you can recognize it, and why it may have shifted, and how we can communicate those needs to our partners without feeling any sort of guilt or conflict. Just to check again that everyone can hear us, and are we live on the platform? Tech with D, please can you confirm that you can still hear us, and we are definitely still live? Okay. Yes, you can. Thank you, Career Talks. All right. Thank you. Okay, so we'll be diving right into it, and If you're watching, please drop in the chat where you are tuning in from and let us know what your love language is and if it has changed over time. Okay, so joining me today are two amazing, beautiful ladies, moms, their wives, their firebrand women, their entrepreneurs. They're joining me today, and they are both of them are my friends. As you can see, I have beautiful friends, right? Yes, and our conversation today would be about real experiences, honest struggles, and what they have learned about their love languages and how they have communicated it over time, in their marriage. They are both moms, by the way. And yeah, so I have with me today Blessing Amadi. She's a registered nurse, a midwife, a public health nurse licensed in Nigeria, in the UK, and in USA. Guys, she's the founder of Liberated Ladies International and the president of Nedis Care Africa Initiative. I believe that is an initiative in Africa, right? Yeah, where she empowers women, families, and communities through service, mentorship, and advocacy. Driven by compassion and purpose, Blessing believes everyone is called to serve, and she lives that out daily. She's a voice of purpose, and she lives a life of impact. So, if you would welcome with me with your virtual claps, Blessing Amadi. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. And with me as well tonight is my very friend Tosin. She's my friend of 10 years now, or over 10 years, a little over 10 years, yeah. So I would say, yeah, she's my G in every sense of the word. Yeah. So she's also a mom, she's a wife, she's a new mom actually, almost 6 months next month, I believe. Yeah. She's also an entrepreneur, and she lives in the Republic of Ireland. She has been an amazing friend to me over the years, and I'm happy that you are here with me tonight. Thank you for agreeing to do this with me. And yeah, so you both are welcome, and we're just going to be diving right into the conversation of tonight. And just as we all know, it's about love languages, and we are going to be um, you know, dissecting Gary Chapman's framework of love language. He proposes that people tend to receive and give love in various ways. And he came about this idea of love languages, and he broke the love languages down into different parts. I often say that motherhood bets a new you, a new, like, you are not the person you used to be before you became a mom. Definitely. You it was like you were reborn. It's just like you being born again, you giving your life to Christ. Motherhood kind of like rebirths you, if that's the word to use. And that also goes to the way we receive love, the way we would love to be loved before we became moms would definitely change. May not necessarily change completely, but there's going to be like this amplification that motherhood brings with how you want to how you want to express love and how you want to receive love. So those are the things that we are going to be discussing tonight. And yeah, just to point out the 5 love languages that we have words of affirmation, we have acts of service, we have receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. So these are the 5 love languages that we all have, that is in existence, and that people use. So we'll just be diving right into it, and I'll just keep short for a moment while I have my guests speak. So my first question goes to both of you, and I'll be asking Blessing first. What's your love language was before you became a mom? Is it still the same, or has it changed? Over to you, Blessing.
Okay, first of all, I want to really thank you, Olanike. Thank you so much for bringing this up. Thank you for this platform, and thank you for what you've been doing over time, educating women and all. Well, when I heard about this topic, honestly, it took me back to should I say, I will not say memory, but it just made me realize that, well, a lot of things have changed, but I haven't really taken note of it. Okay. And
Okay.
I have to start asking myself, okay, yeah, that's true. Maybe there's a lot, there's more to this than just, oh, love language. Because prior to this time, I used to feel like once you've got your love language, that's it. It's fixed. Like, oh, words of affirmation. Oh, you receiving gifts. Oh, okay, quality time, physical touch. Acts of service. And because growing up, I used to read a lot of book, and I felt like, oh yeah, it's fixed, it's fixed. But then I realized that over time, love language is not just about preferences. It's more now about seasons. And one of the most amazing thing a woman, like amazing season of our life, is motherhood. Because motherhood stretches you, it helps you to build capacity. It's like a satisfying season of your life where you're walking through a journey that you really it's like you don't know what you're walking into, but okay, let's do it. I believe okay, let's do it. And
Mhm.
over time you just realize that you're there. Okay. But before now, I used to feel like, because when I met my husband, I used to love receiving gifts. Oh, just buy me gift, go and sleep. I will think about you. I will text you, oh, thank you for this gift. Oh, you've touched my heart. And at that time when we got married, oh, I love cuddling. When I want to sleep, just cuddle me. I will just sleep. Like I love physical touch and I loved gifts. That was like my major love languages. Because for me, it was like, okay, you're speaking my language. But
Mhm.
when motherhood happened, it really changed a lot in terms of, well, it wasn't like the love was not there, but for me it was a different language I was not speaking because of that season. So what I later realized, that it was more like my needs became louder, so which
Yeah.
was, and the preferences. So for me now, it was more about acts of service. So even today, so let me just give a scenario. So I had a guest today. We hosted and people came, they've had their meal and they've gone. Normally, prior to this time, I would be like, oh God, how will I wash the dishes? How will I do all of this? And my toddler is around running everywhere. My husband just said, oh, go and sit down. He's cleaned, he's washed, took laundry, he's taking it upstairs. And for
Mm.
me, that is that is my language. Is
Yeah.
making me feel like, oh yeah, don't worry. I see. You don't need to tell me so much. I see
Yeah.
what you're saying. Like, I
Yeah.
love you. So for me, art of service made a lot of difference, and it's still doing that for me. And then another thing I realized, that because we started doing it, he started introducing, because after when we gave birth to Dave, he realized that I was a bit withdrawn. We started doing words of affirmation. So every morning we pray, aside the words of affirmation, like, oh, what we want to do, he lets me know that, oh, I love you. You're beautiful. You're bold. You're doing so well. You're a good mom. Don't try to compare yourself. Like, those are like encouragement that really made a lot of difference. And for me, that's like my love language now changing. So I would just let you know, yeah, that's it. For me, it changed after motherhood and I started speaking another language. So
Another language. Okay.
yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Over to you, Tosin.
Okay, so first off, I'm going to say, just like Blessing said, I'm going to say thank you so much, Olanike. You've been doing like lots of big stuff. I'm super proud of you. I know I don't say it all the time, but I'm super proud of you. And thank you for inviting me to your show. It's such a pleasure. I love you so much. So to answer your question, surprisingly, all the five that Gary Chapman spoke about were my love language before I got married. Like,
Mm.
just give me the gifts, just help me, like, give me words of affirmation, help me acts of service, just do everything. I everything, like, made me say, okay, I think this person likes me, I think this person loves me. And I would say thankfully, my then boyfriend, now my husband, just understood. I didn't have to tell him, oh, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. He actually started with pouring me, like showering me with so much gift. And then gradually he understood that, oh, this girl, she likes everything. So, so yeah, I would say surprisingly before marriage, before I got into like before I became Mrs. The five that Miss Gary Chapman spoke about were my love languages.
Oh, nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice, nice. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. It's, just as you said, I think blessing, I would say exactly how she said hers is what, like, I experienced before marriage. Before I getting married, my husband knows that I really cherished gifts a lot, and I like, just, he knows, just get me gift, no matter how small it is, just get it for me, and then I'm all over the place, and I'm like, oh, thinking about it, just as you said. And then next to that is the act of service. I don't joke with acts of service, like, even not just to my husband alone. I feel that, like, even expressing it. So this love language now, well, if we notice, we don't just like express it only to our husbands, we express it as well to people around us. And I noticed that if you do acts of service for me, if anybody does anything for me, like, I feel like, oh, I think I think I need to do something back for this person. I really cherished, acts of service and all of that. But now getting married, like, even if you forget to get me a gift, I won't get angry. I won't. I may just mention it like jokingly that, sure, say Valentine don't pass. So never say your hand, or that kind of a thing. But I won't really take it to heart. But you see, acts of service, it's championed every other thing, because now I'm a mom, and dealing with the fact that I'm trying to recover, my body's coming trying to come back to the way it used to be. I'm trying to, just as I said at the beginning, you are like born again. Motherhood bets you. I'm trying to understand this new season of my life. The last thing I want to do is to come to a scattered house. The
Mm.
last thing I want to do is to be the one doing everything. But you see, when you begin to show acts of service, which my husband does, like when he begins to help me around the house, I will just be blushing. I'll just be smiling. Like, I'll be so happy. That is him saying I love you, and I feel loved when he does those things. So basically, in short terms, motherhood really changed what it is. Or I'll say, for me, it amplified that, okay, acts of service is really what your love language is, and you feel appreciated when your husband, expresses this love language. Yeah, so after motherhood, I think we've all answered that do we think our love language changed, and like what tipped off that, fact that it had really changed for you, Blessing? Where was the point that you knew that, I don't think it's physical touch anymore. I don't think it's gifts. I think it is acts of service. Like, at what moment did you realize that this is actually what it is?
Well, okay. Let me just share a bit of story. Okay, so when I gave birth to my son, I had a little help, but later on my mom left, so it was just myself and my husband all thrown. In UK, you do your thing by yourself without
Yeah.
any help. Figure it out by yourself. So at that point, I could see that I didn't even care if I had new clothes. I didn't even care if the shoe. Normally, before I would be like, okay, let me scroll through maybe Shane and see if I can send a link to my husband. Say, baby, see this one. Nah, your girl. you know. So where is the time? I didn't even, my dear. What is in front of me is, is very important. So
Mm-hmm.
point, I just realized that the gift was not moving me. I didn't normally I'm that kind of person that would want to look at what's trending, but I wasn't even moved by any of that. And at night, I want to rest. It's not when I want to go and look for her, come and cuddle me. No, no. I know some women might, of course, when you're tired, you're exhausted, you want the cuddling. It's fine.
Yeah.
It wasn't working. No, I don't want cuddle. Please let me sleep. Because I know in the morning, before this baby wake up,
You go
You
again. It's like a circle.
will go
Motherhood is like a
again. So,
revolving circle. It never
so
stops, never. Yeah.
I'm telling you. So at that point, I was like, no, no, this is it. Like it has just moved from the normal, the things that excited me, the things that made me feel like, oh, that's it at the moment. But with motherhood, I just realized it's a season where I have to know where I am, and I have to know what matters most. So I needed that rest, and I needed that reassurance. I needed that partnership. I needed someone telling me that I see you, babe. I know we don't really have everything figured out, but we are doing okay. I just needed somebody to just be there. Things sometimes somebody was telling me, oh, motherhood, you will be forgetting. My dear, sometimes I just forget. And I didn't need that blame, or I didn't need, okay, let me get a gift and I'm happy. No, I needed somebody to be there telling me, okay, don't worry, I'll do this one for you. Okay, go and sleep. I'll look after this. So at that point, I realized that it just changed because of the season. So that was
Hmm.
the realized. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So actually, where you were able to identify it when, like, when you got to when that moment came, you were able to identify that, okay, I think this thing has changed, and you were
Mm,
able to communicate it to your husband. So we are going to
yeah.
be coming to how you even communicated that it has changed, because a lot of women, when being a new mom or having children, it can be, just as you said, is a revolving circle. Like right now, a part of my mind is already thinking, okay, so tomorrow is Monday. What am I going to cook for lunch, for dinner? What am I
Mm,
going to cook for lunch? Okay, so on Wednesday, like your mind is on work 24/7, no rest, right? So but some women like find it difficult to like accept that a change has happened and I have to accept what that change is. But very important, from what you said, you were able to like speak to yourself and say, okay, I think I've gotten to that moment
yeah.
and it has actually changed. Thank you so much. Over to you, Tosin. What do you, so like, becoming a mom, do you think our needs change emotionally, or do you think we just amplify, like motherhood amplifies our needs? So what are your thoughts on that?
For me, I'm going to say both. Why?
Mhm,
Because when I was answering the first question, I did say um the five love language applied to me.
mhm.
I said the act of service, physical touch, the gifts, what else? I wrote it down, sorry.
Yeah,
Um
that's
Quality
words
time.
of affirmation and quality time. So the five of them applied to me. So I would
yeah.
say it changed a bit. There were some I didn't need in this particular season of my life. I don't need them anymore, and there are some that I need to be amplified. Like when I newly got married, I will be 2 years civil traditionally married and 3 years legally married. When I newly got married, my husband would. I can't remember going to the laundry. I don't do the laundry. My husband does the laundry. If I'm in the kitchen, he assists in the kitchen. Sometimes he even cooks. If I'm cooking,
Mhm,
he's washing. So they were like, in as much as gifts were coming in, my husband would help. My husband would listen. Oh, we women we complain a lot. I
mhm.
I complain a lot, and he's just going to listen. Sometimes the next day I'm like, Tosin, you black too much, but
Right?
I'm going to do it again. I'm not going to
Again.
change. So so I do all this, and he's a present person. He's always there. But the moment when I got pregnant, oh my god, I think he now did times two of what he would usually do when we were still like trusting God. He does. He doesn't want me to don't bend down. I'm going to wear your socks for you. I'm going to wear your sneakers for you. He didn't do anything. And like he didn't allow me to do anything. At a point, I'll be like, God, this man should not break down. I was so scared for him because I felt like he was stressing himself too much. I'm like, God, please help this man. And he would give me gifts. Even at the time I was pregnant, I'm like, I know all these gifts. I did not say it to him, but I'm like the gift gradually my the what's it called now, the gift aspect of love language started diminishing. I didn't
Yeah.
find interest in it anymore, but he would do other stuff, but I didn't find it. I'll smile like, oh, thank you. When unlike before, I'll be so obsessed with these gifts, I was no longer obsessed with them. So when I had my baby, I realized that gifts, every other thing I don't want. What I just want now is act of service. Please, I act of service times 1,000. And
Mm-hmm.
even though he was there,
Mm.
I felt he was doing every other thing. It made me angry because all those things were he was doing for me, I did not need them. This is a new season of my life. I don't
Mm.
need those stuffs. Please don't give me gifts. He did give me gifts, but I'll say thank you. I'll smile. I'll blush. But I didn't treasure those gifts as much as I treasured him being present, him like
Mm-hmm.
taking care of the baby. So okay, sleep. I'll just take the baby. So even though
Yeah.
he was helping because he was juggling job, he was working at the time when we had a baby, and he was also being present for me as a CS
Yeah.
mom, and and we're figuring how to take care of the baby ourselves because we didn't have any help at the time. I
Yeah.
would still be angry. I discovered I didn't like any other thing. All I just wanted was, can you hold this baby? Let me sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Even I could see in his face that he was stressed, he was tired. But even me myself, I need rest. So the only love language that made me see him and be like, this man is fine, shao, is when he say, hold, go and sleep, and he takes the baby, or
Yeah.
he's in the kitchen, he's cooking, and he's letting me rest. I
Mm-hmm.
would just be say, modernize so come you. Like for those I don't understand, I'll be like, I miss my husband, though. This man is sweet though. But when he's
Mm-hmm.
doing every other thing, the buying of gifts, every other thing, I'm not interested. So I would say it did diminish some of the love language like gift, and it increases like it elevated some love language like being there, act of service, do every other thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to lift a finger, do every other thing for me, be there for me and the baby. So I would say yes, it did reduce, and so
Yeah.
both
Increase.
ways.
Yeah.
Yes.
So definitely, you agreed to the fact that it's actually amplified
Mhm.
what your real love, like even though you initially you were able to, you liked everything, but
Yes.
because you are now a new mom,
Yeah.
act of service was more amplified, and that was all you wanted.
Yeah.
Nice. So from your experience, Blessing, what love language do you think tends to become more important for women when they start having children or when they get pregnant? What do you think? I think we've emphasized on it over and over again, but I'd just like to hear from you, from your experience.
Well, okay. Just before I answer this, I just want to add to what Tosin said. Um,
Yeah.
I think we hearing what you're saying about love languages being amplified and all of that, it just makes me understand that in motherhood, we realize that it teaches us to be dependent on like on God and on our spouses.
Yeah.
It makes us feel like it's no more about being alone. There's a limit to where you can reach. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of women I know prior to when they became mom, like very strong women, independent women,
Independent. Yeah.
very they're very strong and capable. But then I've humbled pregnancy. Oh yes, you've humbled pregnancy, but now this is reality. Calm down. Be
Mm-hmm.
vulnerable enough to know that you are not very super strong. God placed you there, or that season where you are, you need help. First you
Mm-hmm.
need it from your partner, and also you need it from God. So it's more like, even though, yes, because sometimes some people's love language, it might be changing, but they don't even, they're concealing it. It amplifies, and at the same time it reveals, because some people
Yeah.
before motherhood, they've been very lonely, and through other season they are so lonely and depressed. It drifts them towards that depressed area, but
Yeah.
they can't be vulnerable to say, oh, I need help. So this
Mm-hmm.
is just saying, yes, so you're a superwoman, no, we understand, but please, sister, be calming down.
Mm-hmm.
Know that your spouse is there, know that you have to depend on somebody else. Okay. Then over to the question you asked me, Olanike. So what was it again? You were asking me about.
Like, does motherhood, what was that important love language that every motherhood tends to experience
Mm,
and value more
mm,
when they become moms? Like, I think we, from everything we have said, we all have, like, there's this particular
yeah.
one that is general to everyone. So
Mm.
what do you think it is from your own experience?
Okay. From my own experience, like I shared from the beginning, I think, yes, I would say um act of service. But then there's no like yeah, stick to anyone. For myself, when I started, I said initially before I got married, the gift was there. Oh, I fancied it, and then um touch, physical touch. Just let me just spend that, time. But now in motherhood, I realized that those little services he does, like, it goes over and beyond in my head. I keep repeating them. It makes me see that it's very important, whoever we marry or whoever we want to spend the rest of our life with. It reveals that beyond the, oh, I love you, babe, oh, I want to marry you, now we're here. It reveals if you're a kind person, because kindness is not just in words, it's in action. So now we are doing
Mhm.
the real life. We are
Yeah.
acting it out. So you coming into this place with so much expectations and realizing that we are not in our physical, let's say in our norm. Nigeria is our norm. Normally, a typical Nigerian man gives the wife to do everything. Probably relatives are there running around to help.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the girls,
Your
people,
neighbors, grandma,
everybody,
grandpa.
grandma, grandpa, they're all there. But now we have relocated. My brother, my sister.
Now
We are
only
in
your
a
swaka come.
I'm telling you, we are doing this alone, and we are not doing it based on the norm. We are not doing it based on tradition, because normally some people will be like, oh, if they are on call, some people will be like, oh, as a man of the house, you're not supposed to do this. Your father did not do this. Blah blah blah. So you come here, you want to use that idea, that cultural stuff to relate with your partner when you know that this woman needs help. In fact, I'm the one that is my baby. I'm not even doing it for her. I'm doing it for the baby, because
Yeah.
a well relaxed mom, or a well loved mom will love the child and invariably love the father. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, that act of service was just amplified, because I could see him telling me, okay, I know you need to rest. Okay, go and rest. I'll hold the baby. I'll change diaper. Normally, it's rare for a man to be changing that. Well, they have to learn it, my sister.
Yes.
We will learn it. So there's no. Now my husband is a professional in changing diaper, because we are doing this together. So
Mhm.
sometimes when it comes to the house is a bit scattered with toys. He just come and arrange, and I come downstairs and I'm like, okay, I know, because my husband is a very neat person. He likes everything organized. For
Prim
me,
and
I don't
proper.
care. The house is clean, no, I don't care. But he is the kind of person that, okay, if he comes here and there's one plate, he will wash it. He won't even say anything. So he started doing all of that, and I could say he started baiting the boy without even me asking, and that was it. And then the quality time, most times we realize that a lot of women are withdrawn, especially when with motherhood. If you had a very bad experience or during your betting, you realize you tend to, that's a very critical period, because some women go into depression,
Yeah.
postpartum depression, a lot of things. So
Yeah.
how your partner, or how your partner begins to relate with you matters, because it's a very important season of your life. And the love, the encouragement, love in the sense that, oh, don't worry, just help me, let me just, you can just help your wife lift up her leg. I know, yes, you've gone to work. Sometimes they'll be like, I'm also tired. Yes, we know you're tired. We're not saying you should give us 100 over 100 of your time, but at least those little, just come spend the time with us, take the baby, just have a conversation with us. How was your day? I know you've been running around. I know the child kept you busy. Oh, don't worry, it's just a phase. Those encouraging words, it really goes a long way, just spending that time. And for us, that's it. For me, it really tells a lot, rather than, oh, what have you been doing at home? Is it not just taking care of baby? Me that have been outside hustling, answering, those kind of a thing. It's different. It's the mindset. But you
Yeah.
realize that woman too, looking after baby is mentally draining.
It's a
Cry
lot, a lot.
in feeding, and also it's that quality time for me. acts of service for me, and those words of affirmation, it really goes a long way. It shows that she's seen, she's loved, and she's appreciated. So I think
Yeah.
that was it.
Oh, thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that. I usually say that it doesn't take much to love a woman, honestly. It doesn't
Mm,
really take much. I know that there's some, I think, how do they say it? They'll say understanding girlfriends and non-understanding girlfriends. Whether understanding girlfriends or non, so long you're a woman, like there's this soft spots that we all have for somebody that we love.
mm,
Especially if you know that, okay, you by yourself said, okay, I'm getting married to this person. No matter how, like, the turbulence of life and all of that, there's still that soft spot that every woman has for her husband. And it doesn't really take much to just help, to just say, oh, I love you, to, those little things really, really go a long way. Because I know that most times when my husband comes back, the first thing he says when he enters the door is, oh, how was work today? How was your day? I hope you mentioned our son's name. I hope he did not disturb you too much today. I hope you're able to concentrate at work. Even if I'm drained and exhausted, I'll be like, no, it wasn't that bad. It was okay. But I would appreciate that for the fact that you even thought of saying, oh, how
mm,
was your day? How did you even cope? That alone has made my evening. So it's not even about like the big things and about like the maybe the 2 hours or the 3 hours you spend with your wife. The little, like it just starts with the little things that these men do, and that's just what takes us to the moon and back. Yeah, thank you so much for that. So over to you, Tosin. Have you ever been disappointed when your husband kept loving you the old way? I think you mentioned something like that when you were talking previously. And how were you able to express your disappointment that, oh, you are doing it the wrong way, like you're not loving me the way I want to be loved? Have you ever felt that way, and how were you able to navigate that season?
I would say I, I'm not disappointed because, like I did say, he would do all five and even exceed them. But I needed him to, when, let's say, the cup of gift is full, quality time is full, act of service and every other cups are full. I want him to take the cup of gift that is full and pour it into the cup of act of make the cup of act of service too.
Mhm.
Like he would it I would say my husband is a wonderful man. He does all these things. But I needed more. I know that okay, you are giving me everything, but can you let your focus be on this act of service? And when I had the baby and he would still do everything, I wanted the main focus should be act of service, but he was still doing all five. I didn't say that to him, but I think I would just slowly. Definitely, I can't say take your gift. I don't want your gift, or I definitely would not do that. I appreciated them because me, I keep money. I know I need to work on also, reciprocating, getting him gift as well. But this is someone that has thought of me to even say, okay, I just close from work. Let me buy my wife a small bottle of perfume, or let me buy something. I definitely will not throw them and say I'm disappointed and all that. But what I do is at night, maybe before we sleep, we like to talk before we sleep. I can just say, "Oh, babe, I was drained today. Can you do this? I think if you do this for me, it's going to be better if we do it this way." So I just love to talk to say,
Mhm.
not necessarily say focus on the act of service. I would definitely not use that kind of language because it makes him now feel, oh, but I'm doing all these things. Can't you see?
Yeah.
Make I just make him to say, okay, I see you. I know you are trying for I and the baby, but I will appreciate if you can extend more to this particular
Area.
aspect. Maybe if you see I've held the baby for like 2 hours, maybe during your break, if you're working from home, during your break, can you hold the baby just so that I can quickly nap? Or
Mhm.
can you quickly just help us fix something?
Mhm.
And all that. So I didn't see them as a disappointment and I didn't throw it to his face. I would just like have conversation. We might be bathing the baby together and I'll just say, babe, do you know if you do this thing, it's going to be good though. If you do this thing, it's going to be good though. So because I know that if I go and do gra, he will just be angry, like, I'm doing everything and this girl is not appreciative. And I feel like my conscience is going to judge me that you're a bad wife. This man is
Mhm.
trying. You can speak calmly to him to make him know that he can be better in this area. So yeah, I just have conversations at night.
around it. Thank you very
Yes.
much. I picked something really vital from what you said is your mode of communication and the method that you use to communicate. Because if you have been living with someone for almost more than 3 years now, you would know that okay, these are the ways this person appreciates communication. So you were able to communicate how
Mm,
okay, can you do more in this aspect, and which is really vital. And I think a lot of women need to pick that up and improve on it. Thank you so much for that.
mm.
So over to you, Blessing. What are the subtle signs? What would you say are the subtle signs that a mom's love tank is getting empty, and what are ways that her husband can fill it up? So, when a woman is getting drained, you mentioned that as well in terms of postpartum depression. Like, I would say that you should speak to us maybe from you being a nurse, from that perspective of maybe the medical line of the medical side of you. How would you say that a man would know that, okay, I think this woman's love tank is getting empty and I need to refill it?
Okay. Well, okay. So, well, I would say that it differs for different women, but one thing is common. A very observant husband or a man that really loves his wife. I know every husband loves their woman. They would really realize that maybe every little thing this woman is irritated. Like, the man will be like, what did I even say? She snaps
Husband
on
don't.
she snaps on every little thing. He will do this one. She's like picking it up. He's saying something, she's saying another thing. She's he's talking about, maybe let's say, okay, the food. She's talking about the baby. But the baby did, like, it's not linking. That means she's upset. She's obviously angry, and he's not doing something. Something is missing. There is a question mark. And then you realize sometimes she's just blank on her own. Before you, maybe you're calling her name and she's not responding. You maybe, oh, she's lost in thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
She's just lost in thoughts. And that's because she's thinking about how overwhelming everything is, how she's just doing everything on her own. Sometimes some women at that point, they begin to regret why they married that man, why they even gave birth. And without even realizing and picking it, they start resenting the children, like the child they've given birth to.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even want to carry the child. They don't even want to stay in the same space with the man. By the time he's coming back home, they're giving him the child. They're going upstairs or maybe going to the room to just lock the door. They don't want to say anything. They don't want him to say anything. At that point, that means her love tank is empty. It's really like it's depleted. She needs something else. He's obviously not doing something. And what I would say is there are different ways to go about it. You can go about it through the faith routes, in the sense that, fine, have a clear conversation, just like Tosin said. Communication is key in marriage. You can never overemphasize the importance of communication. It has to be clear, and it has to be a two-way. You know how we pray to God, and sometimes some people just zoom off and they don't hear from God. Communication is supposed to be two-way. It's like, I've said something. Have you received it? What's your response? I've
Yeah.
also received your response. So it's not you just saying. Now the man will see it as a nagging. Oh, she's always nagging. Oh, I don't want to go home. At that point, the man will not even be happy to come home, because an unhappy wife would definitely make everybody around her unhappy. The child will be so unhappy. The child will not be fed. Even if the child is even feeding, the child will not be happy feeding, because at that point it can even make breast milk to be reduced. If, let's say, the child is breastfeeding, I tell you, there will be no the breast milk production will be reduced. And the child will you start even noticing it in the child, malnourished. They will start getting sick, and the husband will not really be so happy. That's because the wife is unhappy. So how can they need to have a clear communication? Sit down. Okay, my wife, what is it? What do you want me to do? And madam, please, sister, please, be so vulnerable. You're not married to a stranger. This is your husband, your own husband. It's not somebody's husband, except maybe they forced you into the marriage. But if it is somebody you want to spend the rest of your life with, then definitely you should be happy to tell him, okay, this is what I don't, this is what I want you to do. And please, like Tosin said, know the time and the mood. Sometimes some men, everybody knows the kind of husband they marry, and they know how best to appease our lordship. you know, you know how, like, you know how to communicate to him.
Yeah.
Just get the right time, speak to him, you guys can pray about it, let him know that, okay, this is, I need you to help me with baby when you come back from work. I don't just want you to go and start watching TV at that time and just hold the baby and only me will be in the kitchen cooking without you, asking me how my day was, without you even looking at me. Because at that point, some women, they feel less of themselves. If they start looking at their tummy, oh, I'm no more attractive, oh, look
Mm-hmm.
at my me, look at
Mm-hmm.
this, look at that. They start comparing themselves with their old pictures and all of that. So let him know what's going on. Let him know.
Mm-hmm.
Bring him into your space, because sometimes they don't even know. They need us to bring them into our space, how we are feeling. So let him know, okay, I don't feel seen. I feel like my hair is not made. I'm not having time. I'm looking unkept because I'm all exhausted with the baby. Can you just take a break? Annual leave. Tell him, take annual leave, let me rest, be with the baby for this period of time. And if you're breast pumping, pump and keep and give him while you go and rest. At least just communicate what you need with him. And I'm sure if you have that, and then maybe time for prayers, you guys can pray about it. Sometimes what I used to do, very funny, but it's a little bit of secret. So if I want something from my husband, let's say probably he's not listening to me and I'm saying something, and I'll be like, oh God, today I know my husband loves me. He will listen to me. He's a good man. I am praying what I want him to hear. Get by me. Oh, he's seeing me. He's loving me today very much. Thank you, Jesus. When we are praying. So sometimes you can infuse that in your prayer. Let him hear it. Let him hear how beautiful you are. Let him hear how God has given him amazing wife with an amazing child. Like just those little things, it helps. So have an open communication with him, pray about it, and if need be, seek a counselor, maybe your pastor, your mentor. That will really help with strengthening and having that open communication in the home. I think I've been able to give a few
Over
points
deliver.
of that.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. So I'll just quickly like to add this before we move to the next question because our time is fast spent. I think just as Blessing said, communicating and being open about it, I would add that also you identifying what triggers you, what's that thing that is not making you, that makes you feel, oh, this person doesn't love me. You need to like really identify it. Is it that he doesn't listen while you are talking, just as Blessing said, or is it that he doesn't even pay attention, that, oh, something has changed in the house? Maybe you even got a new wallpaper, or you got a new frame, or you even made your hair and he did not even notice that, oh, this lady has made her hair. So you need to like trigger, like you need to like identify what the trigger is. I'll cite an example. At some point when my husband's work was, a bit hectic, and it would take him, to work for longer hours and sometimes longer days. At that moment, I noticed that I was always snapping. I noticed that maybe when he's done from work, or maybe when he gets back or something, I'm just angry. Why? This is somebody that you've been looking forward to seeing. And then the moment he arrives, I'll just look for one thing to just complain about. And then I had to say to myself that, babe, it looks like there's something wrong. Like I needed to identify what it was that was making me snap. And I just realized that, okay, maybe it's because he's spending a lot of time away from the house due to work. I needed to identify that this is the reason, is because I am missing his presence. So you need to identify what it is. And when I was able to identify that, okay, this is what triggers my action, this is what triggers my emotion, I had to start praying to God that, God, you gave me this man. No work will take him away from me. So please replace his work. When you are able to identify what it is, you'll be able to work towards, with your partner to get it better. If you
Mm,
if you think that, oh, what triggers my action is that maybe he doesn't listen, make it clear that, okay, I think You're not listening, or you didn't even notice that I've made my hair. Don't just like, I often tell people that if you don't speak, if you don't talk, no man is a magician. He can't know what is written in your mind
Yeah.
unless you speak out. And you have to identify that trigger and accept that, okay, this particular thing is what is triggered. So he is not the problem, but this particular thing is the issue. I think the moment a lot of people begin to realize that and work on that, then I think they're going to see a lot of changes. So thank you so much for that. Over to you, Tosin. Do you know, can you tell us how, like, how exhaustion and mental load has affected the way you even express love now? So let's not talk about how you receive love. Let's talk about how you express love to your husband, because these men are also humans. They also have their own love languages. They also want to be loved. So how has exhaustion, maybe tiredness, or everything that has to do with how you are feeling, how has it affected the way you also express love to your husband?
I don't know how to put it on a scale, but I would say sincerely it has affected. There are things, oh, before having a baby, I would do or say to my husband. But now there's a baby, there's a human being that has to be cared for. He doesn't want to know if you are busy or not. He's now the top priority. Like when I'm exhausted, I to be honest, this is something I need to work on. I don't even remember my husband. I don't even remember my husband. If my baby is crying, I'm going to attend to him first. If my baby is anything, if my baby needs a diaper change, I'm going to attend to him first. Which I sometimes I talk to myself that, okay, Tosin, don't you think there is no balance here? Because my husband once in a while would like do the diaper change, feed the baby and all that. But when he's not home and I get to do all these things, he might my husband might be at work, maybe like he has to be in the office, and he will call during the break time, maybe to do video call, and maybe the baby is crying in the background. And then I'm snapping on my husband, who is not even there. He's not the reason why the baby is crying. I'm like, I'm tired. Then I keep using words like, um, 9 to 5 is better than stay at home mom. Come and do this one now. And it's like, from where to where? I would say exhaustion has made me kind of, it's something I'm not proud of, but it has made me like snap, even when it's not even his fault. I don't know if I'm answering your question,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
would say me being exhausted and saying I'm tired. It now makes I pour all the anger, the inbuilt anger, the stress. I pack everything combined and I dump it on him. So
Yeah.
because I don't know. I'm not something I'm proud of, but it's just something I do, of which I know that we just have to talk. And thank God is understanding. We're like, babe, calm down. Sometimes he might snap back. What is it? Why are you shouting? I mean, I say, why would I shout? So we just have the back and forth, and then maybe I can end the call and take a deep breath and just talk to myself that, okay, listen, dissect
Not
this. Is it
necessary.
necessary? You can
Yeah.
communicate, he can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
So he might call back and we just apologize and then we move on from there. But things I would normally do for him before we had baby, like, oh, get him gifts. Since I had a baby, the Lord is our strength. He's receiving gifts in later. The gifts are coming, but for now, the baby is our priority. To be very honest, I don't want to say having a baby as. I don't. It's not. It has not impacted negatively, but then this is our phase.
Mm-hmm.
There've been changes,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure he knows that, okay, this is just a phase. We don't
Mm-hmm.
have any help. It's just both of us figuring this out. The phase
Mm-hmm.
will come, the baby is going to grow, and then we can now start to adjust things back to normal. But for now, we are both exhausted and we are pouring it on each other.
All right, thank you so much for being honest with that, because exhaustion can really like impact. It can really exhaustion can be the new language. It can exhaustion can, I don't know the words to use. It can determine how you even communicate. Exhaustion, it can be a whole lot. So I'm still on you, Tosin. So how would you say that moms, new moms, even if they're not new moms, even if they're 20 years in marriage, you can be 50 years in marriage and still be exhausted. So exhaustion has like no, it has no respect for your age or for your status or for whatever. So how would you say that you can balance it even while exhausted? How can you do you think you can express love to your husband even in that exhaustion? Because I know that most of us, which I'm also guilty of, we like focus more on the baby or the child or the children and forget that these children will grow up one day and go from start their own life, and this person that you have neglected will be the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, because that was, that's the agreements that we've come into, that's the covenant that we've both taken to be together forever. So
Mm.
how do you think we can balance this phase of having children, being new moms, getting pregnant, and also balancing the fact that we have another human that we need to express love to?
Okay, first off, I'm still going to refer back to what Blessing said when she was answering the last question. Communication. If you don't speak to your husband, he's not going to know you're exhausted. He can only see it on your face when you are wearing your angry face. That's the only way you can, okay, I think something is up here. And there are some men that if you don't talk, if you tighten the face, they would do like they are not seeing that. So I would say communication. I would say communicate. Just and know when to communicate. Oh, I am exhausted. How I think you can help me. This area, this area, this area. Okay, let's strike a balance. How can I come in? What do you want to do? And all of that. Secondly, I would also say the God factor. Talk to God about it, pray to God, tell God to help you. He should strengthen you. He should give you the strength. So what I do sometimes is when I pray, maybe I'm praying with my baby or I'm praying with my husband. If I'm praying with my baby, I'll say, God, please give mommy the strength. Mommy is strengthened. I know the mommy bones are healthy and all that. I would say pray, because at the same time too, God can strengthen us. And I'm not saying the God's going to strengthen you that you now overwork yourself, but I feel like God can strengthen you such that you're taking care of your baby in that phase, and there's just so much strength you can give out to your baby. Thirdly, I would say try to take time off for yourself. Like if my husband is working from home, or I'm giving an instance now, if my husband is working from home, or maybe he's on leave for that particular time, I'll just say, babe, please today hold the baby. We are both home, but take the baby, carry him and walk. Do something, and I will just go for a walk. Sometimes my husband is okay, just go, and I'll just plug my ear, go for prayer walks. I'll just go for a walk. And when this abroad breeze blow you, trust me, when you come back home, you are refreshed. Like they just this refreshment that gets into you when you've gone for maybe a long walk of like 30 minutes and you're back. That also works. And secondly, you can now talk to your husband that, oh, how can you come in to help me? Will you take leave? Will you take leave and then be with the baby? Like for me, I'll be resuming work soon. We had to strike a balance. So we had to have a conversation that, see, it's just both of us and I'm resuming work soon. What can you do? And my husband said, okay, don't worry. He had to take 3 weeks leave, like just few weeks leave, while I go to work and then find my food at work and all that. It just being balanced. Definitely, we are going to be exhausted, but I want we women to remember that, or to realize that in as much as you say we're exhausted, the men are also exhausted. They don't say it, but they're exhausted. They go to work as well. If you have a hands-on man who comes back home, like Blessing said, a husband will like fix things in the house. Imagine him going to work, coming back, fixing things in the house. Most of the time, he bathes the baby. He can even help you put stuff like cook one or two. They are also exhausted. We should not. I know that they are the men of the house, but we should also extend grace. But above all, if you are an exhausted mom, please have that conversation with your partner. Please do have that conversation, because it's somebody that is alive that can take care of the baby. And like Mika also said, these children will grow and they will start their own life, and it will just be you and your partner. If the love has died, if you've let it die a natural death, it might be difficult to now ignite it back up. So yeah, God
Yeah.
help us.
Thank you so much. Amen. Thank you so much for that. And I would just like to add on top of what you said as well, that, no matter how little it is, as a mom, also just, I think men, they appreciate being appreciated.
Mm.
Like when you say that, when you are able to say, oh, thank you for what you did, like you did this, I'm grateful. it's just to do, they may not show it, but they are happy that okay, she actually appreciates me. You may not have the strength to think of the gift to buy, or to think of whatever it is that you want to give him, or take him out, or whatever it is, but just being saying, oh, thank you, thank you, like, I see you, thank you, oh, you did this, thank you, oh, I noticed that you did that, thank you. It's just the way they helping us can go a long way. We saying, I appreciate what you did, babe, thank you so much. It also goes a long way for them. Like,
Mm,
men, even if you don't buy things for them, some of them don't really matter. But you appreciating that, oh, I see you, you are really doing a lot, and I'm really grateful. I know that both of you are in this together. It is not only your job, both of you are in the marriage together, both of you are in parenting together. So there's nothing such of, oh, the man is the guy is doing this thing, so he's kiniko kiniko. No, both of you are gave birth to the child, so it's also his responsibility to do those things, to change the nappy, to cook, to do all those things. It's also his responsibility, right? We know. But for him to have even, saying that, oh, I'm not a traditional man, I see you, I love you, I don't have, I'm not egoistic, I will do this thing for you, still appreciate, still say thank you, right? It goes a long way. And I think they feel loved that way. Yeah, so thank you for that blessing. While we round up very quickly, why do you think women struggle to communicate clearly to their husbands? Why do you think they struggle to say what their love languages what their love language is, and how do you think they can improve on this?
okay. All right. So you said why women struggle and what I think they can improve on.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I've been writing because I've been content. Okay. So sorry. Just before I say this, I just want to add add to what you just said, Tosin, in terms of men loving, we also loving the men when they're exhausted. There was something my husband and I were doing last year when David was born. In that phase, he just started it, and then I saw that it was nice, so I started reciprocating it. Every morning when I go to work, when I open my phone, he will send me messages, love messages. He was always doing, whether I'm happy or I'm not happy, even though I've made him angry. For him, it was like he was intentionally doing that just so that he knows that he loves me. And for me, I just, whenever he does it, it means I have to respond back.
Yeah.
So even if we've just bashed at each other, let's say I gave him the baby and I was like, oh, I'm late, or maybe he will still send the message. So that really helped it. And then me sending him back and expressing, oh, I love you, thank you so much. It kind of like changed a lot of things in terms of the atmosphere, tone, and me also knowing that, yeah, somebody loves me in that
Mm-hmm.
season of life. So that was just what I wanted to add. And then the question they asked, how will women, like women that struggle to express their love languages, right?
Yeah. And
Okay,
how they can improve on it.
how they can improve. Okay. I think one thing is common. We women, like, we real first of all, let's know that we are women and God has created us to be that helpmate. God has created us to be partners with the men. If I when God created Adam and if he said Eve would help Adam. And we should know that marriage is a covenant. It's between you and your partner. Like I said earlier, there's nobody coming to do it with you.
Mm-hmm.
We should not expect, because some people come into marriage with so many expectations of what they've seen on social media. Some people living fake life out there. Probably
And in
know this.
movies too. Achalugo.
Yes. So with all of those butterflies and everything, you come in and then forgetting that your partner is different. In
Yeah.
fact, what makes them, because they are people that have different background from yours, different cultural experiences, because all of these experiences, childhood upbringing, makes a person. And it takes a while, except a refined and a renewed mind, to really shift away from patterns that are negative. Let's say peradventure this person grew up in a family where the men were abusing the women, or they lived where the women they were so strong carrying all the family burden, and they collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
The men never helped them. it takes a renewed mind to really shift away from that and now see that, okay, I'm in a new home. Those things should not be norm for me. I'm
Yeah.
now with somebody that we have to build together. And probably with all of those experiences, like from the men's side, from the women's side, it causes a lot of clashes in marriage. And with that, you realize when the baby comes is overwhelming. So first thing first, like Olanike said, identify where you are. Where are you? Identify, okay, this is the person I'm with. Okay. This person I'm with is not a Nollywood star. This person I'm with is not coming from this back. This person I'm with is my husband, is this person. Okay. Okay. How will I be able to tell him that I'm weak in this area? Because some people telling somebody that, oh, I'm weak, feels like a big deal. Oh, I don't want him to see me less. I don't want him to take me for granted. I don't want him to no not appreciate me. No, get rid of all of those mindsets. Realize that the homemaking, the beautiful things you see online, it is individuals that made it work. So it is both of you that will make the home work, make marriage work, make motherhood work, make parenting work. It is both of you. It is your own fuel and his own fuel. So first of all, realize that you have to tell him, okay, I think these are the things that are going on. I know prior to when we met, I used to be this kind of person. I loved this, I loved that. Now those things no longer move me. These are the things that move me. These are the things that you're doing that I've seen that whenever you do them, it gives me a lot of peace. Whenever you come home and you maybe clean the house, or maybe you even carry the baby from me, it gives me a lot of relief. Let him know. Maybe he might have done it once and twice and say, oh, okay, she doesn't care. He won't know how you felt about it. And he will feel like, okay, maybe I'll just get her a gift. She's trying. I've been giving her gifts. She's always loved it. She always adores it. I'll just get her a gift. Maybe push car, push gifts, After the push gift, you give another push gift. You give push, but it's good that just realize that this is where we are now. This is the season where we are, and things have changed, especially with me. Things have changed. Once you've been able to realize that, know that, okay, are there things maybe you can start reading books together? You can start. Sometimes it depends how you communicate. Sometimes me and my husband will sit and be watching. We'll watch a lot of YouTube documentaries, watch a lot of YouTube stuff that teaches us about parenting, that teaches us about how to love ourselves. Because for you to even do life, it's both of you. So it's what both of you bring in that affects the child. So for me, I would say that communication, we cannot overemphasize it. And if you need to, maybe like Tosin said, pray about it and realize that this person is your G for life.
Mm-hmm.
Be willing to find a way to say it. If you struggle to communicate, you can write. You can write it. You can maybe on your bedside, you write the things you really. Now ChatGPT has made a lot of things easy. So
Yeah.
let's say there are things you really want to see in your home. You want to see your husband kissing you all the time. You want to see him carrying the baby. You want to see him coming home to do certain things, say certain things. Get the pictures from ChatGPT. Get the picture, post them maybe on the bedside. Keep them. We can see I have like a wall. I put it like my put it there. He's seeing it. He's seeing it. So he will not be able to say those things, but let it put it there. Let picture be there. It's your home. Just put those things. And it's very important because you cannot, like I said, you cannot give what you don't have. You can't give if you're depleted. So as
Yeah.
much as possible, first of all, identify what's going on. Like Olanike said, identify it. Identify where you identify your partner. If you think he needs a lot of work to be done on, sit down, say, oh, there's somebody told me about this video. Yes, it's for him, but don't tell him it's for him. Don't, the way we communicate, don't say, come and watch it. You need to watch it and you see what other men are doing. Sister, no, don't say.
Be
Ah,
coming
somebody
down.
send me a video. come, let's sit down and watch. It's very interesting. So when he's
Yeah.
watching, he's speaking to him, he's hitting him, that kind of a thing. He's getting
Yeah.
the message. But other men are doing like this. No, my sister, communicate in love. So, but it's all about if you can identify where you are and identify the person you're with, and then you
Yeah.
can know how to let him know that, okay, we need to watch, we need to learn, we need to do this together, and then be able to open up. There's no harm in saying you're struggling, my sister. There's really no harm. You're not talking to a stranger, you're not talking to your parents.
Mm-hmm.
This person this person have seen everything about you.
Mm-hmm.
So be willing to say, okay, this is where I am, please come in, please do this. And I'm sure that with that, that will really be, you enjoy. See, motherhood is enjoyable. Honestly, it is. But
Mm-hmm.
it's two people that makes it work, not
Yeah.
one person. So
Not
if
one
you
person.
make it work alone, you will struggle.
Yeah.
Don't try to make it work alone. So I
Yeah.
think that I'm sure you'll be able to enjoy it more, even though you're enjoying it alone, but you're going to enjoy it more because two now is better than one. So
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. And I'm just going to jump in right on top of what you said last. Motherhood is two people makes it work, not one person, right? So you are both. I usually tell people that you and your husband, you're in the same team. It's just like being in team A and team B, you know. You both of you are in team A, not one person is in team A, another person is in team B. So the moment you realize that you have to make it work together, and the farther it goes. And then there's another thing I would like to add, just as Blessing said, pasting pictures, like making it visible as well. I know everybody does this on Instagram. Maybe a man of God is saying something that you feel would resonate and will speak to you in this season. Just forward it to your husband. Chaka, not because you want to like attack him or anything. You can just put a little note that, oh, did you not that, oh, listen to what he's saying, just as Bessie said. You can just put a note that, did you hear what he said about this? I think you just put your own opinion, or I like what this person said. When you see things, just I and my husband, we have a group, a WhatsApp channel, like on WhatsApp, because we know that we speak every day. So important information can get lost in our conversation. So we have like a family WhatsApp channel where we drop like maybe important links, important messages. So if we're having a conversation and I say that, oh, this is so and so, he'll be like, oh, we've dropped it. Go and check our family WhatsApp page. It's there. It's easy for me to like, go and pick it up from there because there's a place where it's saved. And it's easy communication. It's easy, you trying to refer to things. It's very easy. Maybe you even saved a bag that you love, or you see a shoe that you like and you feel, I would like to get this. Just send it to him like mistakenly. All these things, it also adds spice to the love. Sometimes you don't need a lot of big grammar. Just a picture, as Blessing said, would communicate it will communicate what you are trying to say. So thank you so much for that, Blessing. I think you answered the last question that I wanted to ask you, and that is how partners can relearn their love languages, and it's just by communication. You saying that this thing doesn't work for me anymore. I think this is what goes now, and you saying it subtly, as Tosin said, and identifying the right time to say it. Thank you so much, both of you, for this awesome and powerful session. If you have learned something in the comments, please just drop one thing that you have learned. If you have anything you want to share with us as well, just put it in the comments and I'll read out your comments. Thank you to everyone who has stayed with us so far. So lastly, while we crown it up, if a woman, is listening, if a new mom is watching us at the moment or would come back, because I know a lot of people would come back to this video to watch, to catch the replay, and right now she's feeling unseen and unloved, what is that one thing you say to her? I'll start with Tosin. What's that one thing you say to her in this season, just to encourage her?
Do you want to say the question again, please?
Okay, so if there's a new mom watching us at the moment and she
Mhm.
feels unseen and unloved,
Mhm.
or she's in that season where she just feels that she's exhausted, she has had a new baby, or even if she has been in her marriage for a long time and she just feels, oh, this guy is not really understanding what I'm saying. What's that one thing, just that one thing you say to her in this season that would, lift her spirits?
Okay. So first off, I'll say it's just a face. I know it's a cliche, but it's just a face. And communicate. We cannot overemphasize that. Communicate your needs to your husband, and as you do that, appreciate him for what he's doing, just the same way we say thank you to God and ask for more. Appreciate him for what he's doing, and then communicate how you think it can be better. And also try to weigh in your options. Oh, how can you relieve yourself of this stress? But to be honest, it's just a phase. You are not alone. You're not alone. We are
Yeah.
all learning. As a
Yeah.
first time mom, we are all
Mhm.
learning. It can only get better. It can
Yeah.
only get better. Don't say because of this season you now hate your husband. No, he's also learning. As you're a first time mom, he's a first time dad. So can you just let's also cut them some slack? I know there are some deadbeats. I'm not talking of those ones. I'm talking of those ones that are trying to be better as well.
Yeah.
So it just a face, it will get better. You will smile again. Don't worry, you will smile again. And your husband would be grateful for you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Over to you, Blessing.
Well, Tosin has is Tosin, did you read my script? You okay. So on a lighter note, the thing is motherhood does not ruin love. Like, some people, some women feel like, oh, because I'm a mom, the world has ended. I'm not seen. I'm not loved anymore. No, motherhood does not ruin it. In fact, it reveals love. And then you now realize that love is not just about romance anymore. Now,
Mm-hmm.
love is sacrifice, is partnership, just like Tosin said, it's grace, it's communication. Love is now more beautiful and more solid. And now you know that you're not just sharing love with just one person now. You're multiplying yourself. You've built so much capacity. Why not give yourself grace? So instead of you looking at the bad side, like instead of you going down and then feeling so, oh, I wish I was, if I was single, if I was without a baby, my stomach would have not done like this. Instead of you looking at those bad side of it, why not look at the good side? If you need to, let's say, lose shape, fine. Maybe if you did a CS, what I would say is after you've healed, probably you can maybe start wearing gidu. Everything goes back in shape. If you need to maybe do some exercises, yes, give yourself grace. Everything is timely, but at the moment, what I would say is enjoy this season, because after now, the next season of your life, you'll be like, you see small children will be like, oh, I miss that season. I miss those season. For now, please enjoy it. Enjoy it with your partner. Enjoy it with your children. Give yourself rest. Because if you've not rested, you'll be drained. And you cannot give love from an empty cup. You cannot give love. You end up making everybody unhappy, frustrating everyone, and because the home depends on the mom. Truth be said, they may not say it though, but you, the mom, you are the homemaker. Like,
Yeah.
you make that home what you carry. So if you're full of so much love, then the home will be sweet. The husband will be your husband will be so happy to come home. The children will be so happy to be around mom. So as much as possible, try to put anything that would make you depressed. Sometimes if you feel like you want to go into that state, please, mom, there's nothing bad in playing music in your background. Play the kind of music that gives you joy. If it is emotional Christian soft music, please play it. You need it. If it is, some people love sports. If just look for what makes you happy in this season of your life. Do it. So as much as possible, try to rest, try to relax, try to give yourself so much grace, and as much as possible, realize that it's a partnership. You cannot do it alone. You need help. You need it. Mom, you need it. And tell yourself, looking for help is not bad. You need it from your spouse, you need it from God. This is a phase where you have to depend on God and depend on you. It's a partnership. So try as much as possible to communicate it with your spouse and let him know that you need it and you're here. Just, sometimes the men feel left out. They feel like, oh, baby is here, there, I'm not seeing, she's always with the baby, she's always giving
Yeah.
the baby love, she's always doing baby.
Mm.
Yes, they may not really understand that is a phase, but then, mom, what you should also try to do is, as much as possible, tell him, babe, I love you. I know you're trying. I know you go to work. I know I'm here. I know at work there's a lot of stress and everything. When you come back, just rest. Take the baby. I love you. As you're giving the baby to say, I love you. Give the baby, I love you. Go and sleep. So just enjoy this phase and realize that it's seasonal. It doesn't last for long, because as the
Yeah.
baby, as they keep growing, you now realize a lot of things changes, even with yourself. Maybe when they turn 5, your love language can go back
Mm-hmm.
to, because now you're not under pressure to do a lot of things, because
Yeah.
now they do some things for themselves. So first time mom, just realize that it's a phase, it's seasonal. Give yourself grace and love yourself and love your spouse and love your child. That child, love that child. That child needs your love. Okay.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you so much. Actually, a lot of us call our husband's baby. So both, so you have two babies, and then you cannot throw one baby away and hold on to one baby. It's not possible. It's like you having twins. You can't drop one and hold on to one. So you have to love
Yeah.
both of them equally. We are
Mm,
made for this. You have that capacity to give so much love inside of you and to
yeah.
receive as well. Thank you so much to both of you. Like it's been an wholesome conversation. As we wrap up, one thing is clear: love languages are not fixed. They change with time, they change with season, and be open enough to to communicate that love language whenever it changes. Thank you to our incredible guests, Tosin and Blessing. I appreciate both of you. And we cannot end without saying a very big shout out to the daddies in the background that are holding things down. Because we all have, like, we have babies, we have toddlers, and they are there at the background, like, holding things down. I can hear my son already. He's looking up, and I can know that it's my husband that is, like, keeping him held down. And I know David is somewhere with daddy, like, trying to engage him. And of course, before we started this live, we saw baby Moshoriri in the background with his dad carrying him. So I just want to say a very big shout out to Mr. Okubanjo, Mr. Amadi, Mr. Solomon. Thank you so much for holding things down while we are here doing this. God bless you. We love you. And, may God continue to elevate you on all sides. Thank you so much. All right, now we are rounding up. Thank you to every one of you who has waited for this long. Thank you for the comments that you have dropped. Thank you to everyone who is going to catch a replay. You can also drop a comment when you do. Until next time, take care of yourselves, moms,
Yeah.
women, ladies. Take care of yourselves and keep loving bravely.
Mm.
Bravely. Thank you so much. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Thank you.